Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Judeana and I make videos for fun. And I tend to really like plants, so, a lot of my videos are about plants, including this one. I decided that today would be kind of a nice day to show you the new growth on my plants, just give you updates on things that are going on in my plant room. Alright you guys, let's get into it. Okay, so these plants I'm kind of excited about. They're a bit more recently put onto moss poles. I did this probably about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago, and I've already been seeing really great results. So, my first one that I just have right here for you is my Philodendron verrucosum. I've heard that these guys like a lot of humidity. I live in a very dry climate, so I'm hoping that the moss pole will help this plant just thrive, because 80% humidity is pretty uncomfortable to live in. I do not want to live. Oh girls, am I gonna have to separate you guys? Stop. You're okay, Lou. That is my cat Luna. She has lots of opinions about her new sister. So, in case you're wondering, we're still getting them a little bit acclimated. But yes, this is my Philodendron verrucosum. I got this maybe about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I did end up showing this in one of my plant haul videos. I got this at Zamzo's for like $10 in a little 4-inch pot. For like 3 weeks, I had it quarantined in a separate room. And then it was like, after I got it on the moss pole, a week later I found spider mites on it. I was like, seriously? So I did treat it for spider mites just with some neem oil. I think next I'll try like 50% alcohol and 50% water. I've heard that works pretty well. So far I'm not seeing any more spider mites, just the damage that they caused. So yeah, if they come back, I'm going to try the alcohol solution and see how well that works. But already I am seeing some promising growth. It looks like the roots back here have already started attaching to the moss, which is very exciting. There are quite a few spider webs back there. I don't think those are spider mites. I think that's an actual spider living in my plant, which we do get lots of spiders in this house. Last night I saw a spider. Today I saw a spider. I always see a spider in the bathroom. Like, they're everywhere. I would just prefer them to be jumping spiders. I don't mind jumping spiders. The rest scare me. I don't like ugly looking spiders. So anyway, that's my little spider rant for the day. But yeah, I fell in love with this plant because of its velvety leaves, how it looks in the sunlight. It's just really beautiful. The way that sheen over it kind of glistens. If you look up photos of them maturing, they have very distinct veining in their leaves and almost kind of like a rippled look to them, which is really, really beautiful, and that's something I'm working towards with this plant. A lot of houseplants, like your monsteras, your pothos, some of your philodendrons, in their natural environment, they tend to grow up trees, and the reason they do this is they try to get to a higher point where they can reach light a little bit easier, because in the tropicals where you find them, it's so densely packed that anything that's sitting on the floor, at ground level, isn't going to be getting as much light. So yeah, naturally in their environment, they climb up trees. As they climb up trees, their leaves get bigger, so that way they can take in more of that sunlight and really prosper. I'm trying to mimic that here. That's why you put plants on moss poles, is you're trying to kind of mimic that. I haven't tried any other moss pole besides these plastic ones. I just knew right off the bat that I did not want to have to use wire. I thought that was going to be very painful. Thought that was going to dry out really fast. And if you had to, for whatever reason, get into the moss pole to fix something, it's going to be a lot more difficult having to cut through wire than cut through plastic. The plastic helps retain more moisture, which I really enjoy because I do not check for water as often as I should. I'm very much an underwaterer, so that's why most of my plants are philodendrons and Hoyas and things that don't need very high maintenance. So yeah, that's kind of just my reasoning behind these guys. Anyway, fell in love with this plant. I already think since I've repotted it and started it on a moss pole, it has spread out and grown so much more. It's just got the vibes. And we do have under here a couple of fresh new leaves that are just about to emerge, so I'm excited about that. I guess that is something you could do with a moss pole that is a wired moss pole, is it's open from all sides, so you can have it growing any which way up the pole and kind of just surrounding the whole pole. Whereas something like this, you can only really grow it up one side, which for me, that's okay, because I honestly find it really fun when you get to look at the back of a moss pole and see how the roots are growing, how they're doing. And anyway, I'm very much a peeping Tom when it comes to looking at my plants and how they're growing and how they're doing and their roots, that sort of thing. I like monitoring their growth in this moss as well as outside of the moss. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that real quick. I really like how this is looking. The plant's coming out really fun and full and just beautiful. This second plant I have for you is gonna be a little bit more difficult to bring up here, so just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so, hi. Don't mind me. Aw, hi Lou. Alright, so this here has been my pride and joy lately. This is the Thai Constellation Monstera. I got this from work like a year ago, just about a year ago. And when I got it, it was in a 6-inch pot, which I actually still have, that I'm currently using for my Christmas cactus propagations, which have grown substantially, and I'll show that to you as well. It used to be, I think, just these 3 leaves, and there were 2 more down here at the bottom. Since I've had it, it's put out this leaf, and this one here came out just like a couple weeks ago, which is its biggest leaf, and it's most beautiful. And this came out solely because I know it was because of this moss pole. Honestly, seriously. Because it was so fast. After I put it on the moss pole, it was so fast that it pushed out that new leaf, and that just excited me. Really, really excited me. So I just have it here in a large nursery pot inside of this decorative pot, which I actually pulled these out of the dumpster at work. You can kind of see that they're bamboo strands that have just been wrapped around and glued on, so I just re-glued some of them back into place, and yeah, it works really well to kind of showcase this plant. I really love this plant so much, and it's been fun watching it grow. And I knew as soon as I got it that I was putting it on a moss pole, because if you ever look at photos of just any monstera climbing up trees, the leaves are massive, and the variegation for these ones is always going to be better when it's climbing and when it's trying to reach towards light. That's its natural growth habit. And that's actually how they develop these fenestrations. The reason why they develop them is to let in sunlight through their fenestrations onto their lower leaves, so they're trying to maximize as much sunlight as they can get and let the lower leaves still gather some light. So it's really intelligent programming. God did a good job when he made these plants. I just love learning about them. Let me show you the back. Right now I just have this little grow light over it, and I also face it towards my south-facing window, which, I mean, right now it's really struggling because we're starting to go into that time of year where I'm about to get a lot of light in my room, and you can see the light traveling across the room. But usually, in the summertime, the south-facing window doesn't get as much light because, well, for me especially, because there's a house next to me. So it gets light for a certain part of the day, and then it gets covered, and then it gets the afternoon direct sunlight. Whereas in the wintertime, it gets light pretty much all day. And wow, that sun's really coming in bright, and it's so beautiful. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, so it was like, as soon as I put this on here, we got roots, and this leaf shot out, and my heart just leaped with joy. I was so excited about that. I have my grow light that runs on it 12 hours out of the day. For whatever reason, it's not running right now. Sometimes, I can't remember if this is the one that goes on and off. It just randomly puts it out on and off. This newest leaf it put out for me is substantially bigger than the rest of the leaves. I don't know how big you can see that. It's like, if I come back to it, it's bigger than my face. It is beautiful, and I love the inner fenestrations that it's developed, as well as the big outer fenestrations, and this whole chunk of just creamy goodness, and the speckled spotting, and just the variegation in this leaf is so much better. I mean, the only other leaf that has that kind of variegation is right here, and this was before I got the plant. This still has a good amount of fenestration, and this one does too, actually, but this has the most, and it's just so beautiful. Love this plant. I don't even water it probably as often as I should, but I worry about overwatering it because of the moss pole. I always keep this moss pole pretty moist. I don't let it get too dry, because if you let the moss get too dry, it actually becomes water repellent. I guess the more official term to use for that is hydrophobic. We do not want hydrophobic soil or hydrophobic moss when it comes to taking care of our houseplants. If you do end up having hydrophobic soil, usually this is more common with cacti and succulents because you don't water them as often as other houseplants. But if the water just keeps running off and over down the pot and not really soaking into the pot, try bottom watering. Just put on a timer for 10-15 minutes. Let your plant soak in the water from the bottom. That's really going to help that soil go back to its natural state. So yeah, go ahead and try that. And actually, I need to dust the leaves. I recently also dusted them with neem oil, but I need to dust them again. And I'll probably end up doing the alcohol solution on this as well, as a treatment and preventative, more so preventative because it sits next to the varicosum. Okay, so those are my two bigger plants that I just have on this side right here. I think next what I'll do is just take the camera and move around with you guys and show you the new growth that way. So, all right, you guys, so starting from this side of the room, I can't remember if I showed you this before I chopped it up, but this is just my regular Monstera deliciosa. I decided to chop it and prop it. We have lots and lots of roots down here, as you can see. So I will be potting this up very soon. If I'm feeling like it, I may just pot it up today. But I'm also going to have this growing on a moss pole because I just think it would be so much better for the plant. And then I can separate it as well and maybe even have a couple moss poles going. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Yeah, going up here, I did repot my Hoya Pink Princess. She has been putting out so much growth for me, you guys, and very pink, very, very pink growth as well, which is really very promising. Like down here, you can see, we got another vine going here that looks a little newer. Whoops, I'm trying to untangle him. Sorry guys, I'm working around like a more narrow spot here. That's a little better. Also, is this thrips damage? I've never actually treated for thrips before. I put a systemic in her a few weeks ago when I repotted her because I wasn't sure what this was. It looks very much like something was just eating away at the leaves. So if you know, please tell me in the comments. I would be very thankful to you, whoever can tell me what this is. Maybe it's a fungus and I just don't know. Anyway, yeah, she's just gorgeous and big and voluptuous, and she's been very good to me. I've loved having her in my collection. Putting out lots of new vines. I may have to rotate her because she's kind of going all over the place, to be honest. And the difference between the Crimson Princess and the Crimson Queen is the Crimson Princess will have inner variegated leaves, whereas the Crimson Queen will have outer variegated leaves. Oh, look at those fresh leaves. So beautiful. Very flimsy. They haven't hardened off. So, wow, look at it. Look how dark it is, too. So pretty. I stinking love this plant. It's so beautiful. And some of the pink has stayed a bit more permanent. Like a lot of variegation, I feel like, lightens up. Some things have stayed a little bit more pink. Like these leaves have stayed a bit more pink. And I'm hoping for more pink leaves because that's one of the great things about having plants is the color variation, especially variegated plants. And I may have to move this more central as the winter goes on. Hopefully it'll get a bit more light that way and it'll give me more pink leaves. But yeah, I used to have this over right where that one is. And was loving life, and I was like, well, I gotta repot it, whatever. Maybe I'll just end up moving it back. I don't know yet. We'll think on it. Moving down here, I have my white knight and my white wizard propagating. They both had spider mites, pretty bad. And they both were just not loving life. Very much not loving life. So we're going to try again, and we're going to try and put them on a moss pole and see how well these guys do. Because I'm just in the mood for moss pulling everything. Oh, hey, look! Wow, we did this on a good day. We've got a bloom here on our Huernia zebrina. This is a succulent that actually Wild Fern had, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I want that too, because it just looks like a really neat plant. And it has put out a lot of growth for me. It started growing over the sides of the pot now, which is really fun. And I've seen flowers all summer long on this guy, which has really excited me and given me hope about him and how he's doing. He's really covered in spider webs, though. I get a lot of spiders in here, you guys. I get quite a lot of spiders. But yeah, he's a really neat guy. I really like him. I think this is another Echinopsis cactus. I can't remember the exact name for him. I think this is Echinopsis tubiflora. I can't remember what it's called, but it used to be in either a 2 or 4 inch pot. When I first got it, it was just from like a Zamzows or Lowe's, that sort of thing. And I just really fell in love with this plant for its look. And as it's grown, I've really fallen in love with how it's got these ripples and its fronds, kind of that lettucing of the fronds, which is really cool. Anyway, yeah, really like that plant. Moving on over here, this is what remains of my variegated string of pearls that I used to have in a 6-inch pot that I had gotten from Zamzows for $16. Amazing deal. But when I moved, it died, and now it has reverted back to just being green. It's just green now. So, but it is doing very well. It's got lots of little long tendrils here that are growing. So yeah, it's been pretty good. This here, my friends, are the cuttings that I once took from all the poor plants that just dropped. They dropped all of their leaves. So the story behind this plant here. So this here is a assorted Christmas cactus. And the reason I say assorted is because after we got them all in at work, there were just leaves everywhere, and I felt really bad about throwing them away. So I just took them home, stuck them all in this pot with some soil, kept the soil moist for a while until they rooted, and now it is so full, and it looks like we're going to have some blooms soon because, you guessed it, this is like a Thanksgiving Christmas cactus. I don't know if those are the same thing, Thanksgiving or Christmas cactus. I know Easter cactus is a little different, but we got a couple blooms up here. We got a bloom there. That's going to pop soon. We got a bloom down here. You can kind of see where my finger was. And they're all going to be assorted colors. I remember the ones we had last year, we had some that were orange, pink, white, and cream. So I'm just hoping we get lots of different colors going on in this. I think that would be super duper fun. Which he's very much due for a water. I better rotate him though, because he's rotated. And I don't think I ever have. Oh, no wonder where the spider mites were coming from. Look at that. Wow, that's nasty. Let's go ahead and get rid of this real quick. I swear, you guys, when I checked on these plants the other day, this did not look like it. I know that the water level was low. I knew the plant was dying, but I didn't want to take care of it. I was just like, let's just save that for another day. You know what? Okay, we're gonna dump this water first, and this is going straight in the trash. Goodbye, and we're closing that up. And let's just run some hot water and maybe a little bit of soap. Die. Okay. No wonder where the spider mites came from. Anyway, that was a strawberry propagation. And I just decided to let it die. Sometimes I just do that. So these are my African violets. This is one that I got for free from work because it was croaking, and I just stuck it in an African violet pot, kept water in here, and it has flourished. It's really done well, and we do have some blooming going on. This ended up being one of the first posts I made to Pinterest because I fell in love with the flowers. They're so beautiful, and these are actually more rippled, I think, than the ones that I have on Pinterest, the blooms that I have posted on there. I'm sure that there are several plants in here that need separated, so I'll probably end up doing that, and I might even gift some away for Christmas, maybe. That would be kind of a cute gift, wouldn't it? Maybe we'll try that and see how that goes. This ended up being a really great day for filming because of the clouds right now. This was another rescue. It was a little 2-inch. And we've got lots of blooms going on right now. These little purple ruffled blooms. Very, very sweet little blooms, which I've also fallen in love with. I just love African violets. For some people, they're very difficult. For others, they're just super easy. For me, these guys thrive off of neglect. And I don't really do much to them. I just fill up their water reservoir. This little pot, it just lifts up. It's terracotta, and then you just fill the bottom with water that is really, really not full, so I need to fill that again. However, this one is, so it just has like these little holes that you fill up with water, and it keeps them going, keeps them really good. This is another African violet, as you can tell probably because of the leaves, and I actually bought this one because I fell in love with it. After having taken care of this one, and then this one, I went, okay, I can buy one. Now that I know for sure I can actually take care of them. So I bought this one. If I can find a photo of it, of its flower, then I will go ahead and put it on the screen for you guys. But yeah, all of these have done so well for me. They've flourished. They're thriving. This here is my high five cactus. Sorry, we've got string of pearls going on behind it. I call it my high five cactus because at one point this was all the way up here, and then it was just that part that was bent over, so it looked like he was giving you a high five. And I found on the floor at work, so I also decided to just plop it into some soil, and it rooted for me, although I haven't checked on the roots in like a year, so who knows? Who knows what the story is on it? I'll probably end up repotting that pretty soon as well, just to take a look at the roots. Okay, this next plant, I don't know where to go. Where should I go, you guys? I'll go up. Okay. So this is my Hoya linearis, and oh my gosh, this plant has been struggling. I cannot, for whatever reason, keep this. It's because I'm such an underwaterer that, like, this foliage needs watered more often. So I put it in a bigger pot hoping that would maybe help, but it just looks like it's hating life and makes me so sad because whenever you see mature specimens of this plant, they're gorgeous, they're so beautiful, they're so happy, they're just fun. But so far this plant has just been, I don't know, not really my cup of tea lately. Anyway, and I love Hoya. I love Hoya because they are a lot more easy to care for, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, this one's been difficult for me. Going right here is my variegated string of pearls. This is our try again plant after the one I lost very sadly after we moved. This could actually probably be repotted now. It's got lots of long pearls. You can kind of see here. Oh, stay like that. Sorry guys, it's a little more difficult for me to get this a good shot for you guys, but the pearls are looking pretty darn good. So maybe I'll repot this soon. Maybe I'll make a repot video and just take a bunch of these plants and repot them because it's overdue. And like you can tell here too, my variegated string of hearts up here, that I've had that in that pot for at least 2 years. I know that for sure. Sorry guys, I know it's kind of dark and hard to see, that little pot there, that's what this has been, this variegated string of hearts for a couple years. So this, you guys, was in one of my vlog videos that I did, actually, which, sorry guys, I ended up posting a bunch of older videos because I thought, if I get these posted now, I'll have time to make other videos, and then I can have like a few weeks backstock on videos and make life easier. Except when life happens, you know, you just gotta make videos when you make videos, is my thing. So sorry that they're kind of sporadic right now, but you know, life is unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. You can kind of see though, and if you saw from my last, when I put this on the moss pole, it was very small. It was just like that, pretty much, around the bottom, right? I mean, I've cleaned out a few leaves since then that have died off, and as it started growing up, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do, which is, you can tell the leaves have started getting bigger, and the variegation is changing. So this is its newest leaf, and you can kind of see that it's bigger than some of these ones down here. The biggest leaf right now is the one that was previous to it, although it doesn't have as much variegation, so didn't get quite enough light. But it is bigger, and that makes me really excited. I'm hoping that these leaves just get enormously huge, and then I can chop the plant and prop it onto another moss pole and just have it keep going. But we've got a leaf that's just about to come out all the way. I'm seeing lots of variegation in here, which is exciting. I cannot wait to see this, and I'm really hoping it puts out big leaves for me. Yeah, I've just fallen in love with this Marble Queen pothos. That's what this is, by the way. If you're interested in seeing how I potted this up on a moss pole, go check my houseplant videos playlist, or if you want, you know what, I'll probably just link this down. I'll link that video down below in the description, or I'll insert it at this point in the video if you want to go watch that and see how I did that. But I've just been having so much fun watching this grow each and every week as the leaves have just gotten bigger, as it's gone upwards vertically. I'm hoping that some of these other vines that might be getting choked out a little bit down here will start growing a bit more. I want them to attach to the moss pole, so that way it fills it out a little bit more as it's growing. Right now it's just a little sparse in some areas, which, I mean, it could be fun. It kind of looks like a stair step here where the leaves are going, which is kind of cute. So I don't know. I guess I'll just let it do its thing. And if it starts growing more, I'll start attaching more of them to go upwards. Looks like this one is right here. We got a new leaf coming down right there on the side of that butterfly. So I'll probably move that dragonfly. That's what I meant, dragonfly, not butterfly. Oh, and then I thought, you know, if this fills out and looks really nice, some of the pothos here could even pool over the side of the pot, and that would look really cool. And I can move it out to my living room, have it be more of a centerpiece plant once it's more established. I just really enjoy this plant. All right, down here we have, it's an aloe gasteria aloe cross, which I really love gasteria because they're kind of like snake plants where you can neglect them and they do fine. They do really well. But the aloe aspect of this gave them broader leaves, wider leaves, which made the plant look really cool. Sorry. I'm talking and I can't like operate the camera very well. Anyway, it makes the plant look very, very neat. Very cool to have broader leaves. And the speckling, I just fell in love with this plant. He is getting a little leggy. He's got a pup, which I can maybe separate him. And he also needs some water, which I haven't done in a while. Oh, he's got another little pup growing there. Cute. So yeah, gasteria aloe. Pretty cool. I have some little princess cuttings, which I think actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to cut these leaves in half because I just stuck them in water like this. I think I'm going to cut these leaves in half and stick them in the soil and just fill out my Crimson Princess more with them because I don't know what I'm doing otherwise. This is my, I was about to say, no. This is my Stephania recta bulb. And honestly, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with this guy because when he puts out vines, they're beautiful. They're beautiful and they're fun. But this happened this year. What is that? Like, what is that? What causes that? I don't ever run water over the top of the caudex because when I did research, said that you're not supposed to. So I always just water around the base here. But maybe I don't water it enough. Like, I'm scared to touch this, to break it, but my OCD is saying just do it. And it's like hollowed out at that part. So, like, what the heck is happening there? I don't know what's going on, you guys. I don't get it. Sorry, my camera won't focus, but you get the gist anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just trash it. And moving on over here, I did in that same video is this Silvery Ann Scindapsus, which the Silvery Ann has more narrow leaves, which are really pretty, and I tend to really like that a lot. And it hadn't put out any new growth, like, at all in such a long time. Like, I got this new leaf a couple months ago, maybe. And now it's getting ready to put out another new leaf, and I need to extend its moss pole because it's finally outgrown it after almost a year of this. And I know it's probably because, not to spoil anything, I should just say that, spoiler alert, the roots, there were hardly any. And so I was hoping that maybe having this on a moss pole would help encourage more root growth. It would be a little bit better. And it's taken a year. It's taken a year to see these two emerge. So, oh well, patience is a virtue, which sometimes I have, but yeah. Oh yeah. So these ended up dying off from the main plant that I have. Woo! No babies. Okay. And they're just little variegated string of pearls cuttings, which I'll probably end up just winding around the pot and having it fill in the pot a little bit more, keeping it moist. Also, these are the best containers for propagations. They're literally just candle votives. And I love them because it keeps them moist for a longer period of time when they need the moisture to propagate. And I like the fact that they do look like little terracotta pots. It's really cute. So for somebody who lets things dry down really fast and way too long, those are a great option. I think I got them at Fred Meyer. Can't remember. This here is last Christmas. My mother-in-law gave me this. It is a string of pearls, just a regular one. And it has grown so much for me. I think when she got it for me, it was only like about this long. And since then, it's grown almost like a foot. So, or maybe it was a little shorter. I can't remember. It was already a pretty well-established plant. So this plant makes me so happy. This has been my dream for such a long time, is to really just take care and keep one string of pearls nice, because we'll just go that way with it. Look at how beautiful and long she is. She's gorgeous. She's so beautiful. I love her. Maybe if I stand back a little more, you guys can see a bit better, but she's gorgeous and long and voluptuous and lush, and I just love her so much. And I actually really like the plant hanger I put her in. This is a plant hanger I made that's just bright orange macrame, and the orange is just such a nice contrast to the green. I really like it. It's very cute. It's very 70s. Digging the vibes. All of my Hoyas have put out lots of new growth, so this one is one that I got at the Flower and Garden Show in Boise. It's a little 2-inch. It's called the Hoya Mindorensis Pink, I think. I don't really know. I can't remember. That might be the wrong tag for it since I've repotted it. It was in a 2-inch. And since then, it has put out a bunch of new vines. Let's see. Back here, we've got this new vine coming up right here. If it'll focus. There we go. We've got this little vine coming up right here. We've gotten lots of new leaves. This is the one that I tried to tape its leaf back together because I accidentally broke its leaf. And then we've got this long vine coming out with just a couple leaves on it. So I might chop it and just figure out how to get more leaves on it. Or maybe I'll just leave it. We'll see. My Hoya macrophylla has put out some new growth. We've got this new vine up here, this new tendril that's just kind of waving about. Some new leaves on there, which are so excited. Oh my gosh, that one hasn't hardened off yet. It's so new. This one's new. We got like a little pink one right there. I stinking love this plant. This one flowers the most for me. I think I might have shown you this leaf in another video, but it's a very variegated, bright green leaf. Just fell in love with it. But it does. It flowers for me so often. And I've just really fallen in love with that Hoya. This Hoya has really taken off. It's a little 4-inch variegated, or I guess splash, Hoya obtusifolia. And look at how big the leaves are. They're so cute. Look at that tendril. It's so, so cute. Please forgive my camera operating skills. I am not the best without a tripod, especially because this camera's a little old. It's a little heavy to hold in my hands, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, my Hoyas I love. They're doing great. My rat tail cactus looks the same. It might have gotten a bit longer. I honestly can't tell. So there's that. My philodendron pink princess is dying, even though I watered it recently. Might have just overwatered it. I think I'm going to trash it. He's struggling. Or she, I guess. She's a princess. These are all my pothos propagations, which are needing to be potted up. And I haven't done it yet, so maybe we'll do that soon too. And then my Latifolia Sarawak Hoya. This guy has put out some new leaves for me. Let's see. Okay, this is the tendril that's coming out down here. This guy right here. You can kind of see there's like 2 itty bitty leaves on there. I don't know if my camera's going to focus. You can kind of see there's 2 itty bitty leaves right where my finger's at down there that are coming on. But these 2 leaves are the newest leaves, and I loved it when they were so fresh. They were so dark and gorgeous, and I love how big these leaves are. They're so beautiful. And the veining in them, the shape, everything. When I saw this plant for the first time at the Flower and Garden Show in Boise, I fell in love with it, and when I found it for only like, I think it was 20 or 30 bucks, I had to have it because originally for this plant in a 6-inch pot, when I saw it there, it was $60. So I was like, can't do that. But I can do 20 or 30. That's great. I can do that. This was a gift from Ryan. He let me pick it out. He's such a sweetheart. I actually got this at Albertsons, believe it or not. They've started carrying some different plants, and it's really fun, actually, that they're carrying different plants. This is a Ring of Fire philodendron. And if I can, I'm going to try and get this on a moss pole too, because why not? Let's get everything on moss poles. I don't have a... Sorry guys, my recording stopped. I don't have a lot of lateral space to work with, so the more that I can have grow up vertically, I really like the idea of that. And I promote that 100%. This is my Tradescantia Velvet Moon. As you can see, it's put out so much growth since I've repotted it. This used to be in a 4-inch pot. I did repot this more recently, maybe a couple weeks ago. It needs water. It always needs water. It always dries out so fast, no matter what. So I'm gonna have to water that guy. But yeah, he's gotten long. I don't know if you remember what he used to look like. He was in another one of my plant haul videos, I think. But I just fell in love with the fuzzy leaves. This is the one Tradescantia so far I've been able to keep alive. I really also want to get a Velvet Bunnies Tradescantia that I had in the past, and I killed it when I was still living with my mom, and that one sticks with me. I loved that plant so much. Yeah, I've got to find it again, a good one, because the one that I had was a good one. All of the leaves are really tightly knit and wound together, so yeah, that's this guy. And then over here, my poor, sorry, ignore that. He needs repotted. I'm pretty sure I overwatered him, or maybe underwatered. there's also not enough humidity, and you can tell because of the way that the new leaves are coming out. And he's very much leaning towards the light. So I need to figure out what to do with this plant because this bird of paradise is not loving life right now. If I can get, let's see. There we go. This is my Golden Amate Schefflera umbrella tree. I love it to death. For a bit there, it was not doing well. Since I repotted it, it's done so much better. It's perked up. It's got lots of new lovely leaves at the top. And now I just like, when I water it, there's still like a little bit of water down there. So it's kind of acted like a self-watering pot, and it helps encourage these roots to grow downwards. And then it doesn't ever like suffer as bad as it used to, hopefully. So yeah, I'm just hoping that that's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, did I show you guys the back of this marble queen? I don't think I did. I wanted to show you guys the roots because I love looking at the roots on these moss poles. So looks like we've got some fresh roots right here. You can kind of tell because they're so bright. Let's see if it focuses a little bit better. Sorry for the glares, you guys. I know there's a lot of glares on here. Maybe it'd be easier if I brought this over here to look at it because it's a little bit darker over here. Is that a little easier? Yeah, I think so. You can see that there are plenty of roots in here. Lots of rooting going on, which is very exciting because I love this plant so much. Look at those. Look at this. Look at them roots. So awesome. That very bright, fresh root right there. And then, of course, down here you can kind of see a little bit, some squiggliness going on for roots right there. Going diagonally that way. Yep. Love this plant. I have such a passion for this plant. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it so much in all of its glory. Let's see. I don't even know if my camera software will let me hold the video like this, but yeah, it's beautiful. I love this plant. I love it so much. So much. All right, you guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, I apologize for my camera working skills. Sometimes they're on par and sometimes they're not. Sometimes I get a little distracted. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you guys have plants like these, I'd love to see them or any tips for growing them, especially since I've started growing on moss poles. And I am happy to announce that I have a Redbubble website that you guys, if you're wanting to support me or if you're wanting any beautiful planty merchandise, that is a great place to go. I'll have that link down in the description below. Or if you just go to Redbubble, you can research my name, Judeana, Judeana, and you will find me there, along with lots of beautiful designs of plants that you can, order stickers to put on your water bottle. Some of the tote bags look really good, and I'm actually going to be ordering some soon to see how well they turned out because I thought that'd be kind of more of a personalized, fun gift idea, so we'll see how that works. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big old thumbs up. That would really help me out to figure out what you guys want to see from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again so much for watching. Have a blessed day, you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!